Hello, and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. My name is Amina Al Sharif, and I am with the Data Ethics Consortium for Security. Today, I have the pleasure of talking with Nate Rackiewicz, Chief Data Officer at Gannett. So let's go ahead and get started. Nate, it's really nice to see you on this interview today. Why don't you go ahead and give a brief introduction of yourself for our audience?
Sure. Thanks, Amina. I really appreciate it. And I've got a last name that I like to tell people when they complain about it. In my family, I say it's presidential because there was a President Rackiewicz of Poland at one point. But thank you, though. No, I'm from Washington, D.C. originally. I grew up in Northern Virginia, went to college out in the Midwest, and then came out to New York City after college and have been here in the New York City area and with COVID in the New Jersey area since. And I'm really excited to be here, Chief Data Officer at Gannett, part of the Gannett USA Today network. If you're not familiar with that, it's USA Today plus about 250 local publishers around the country, plus publications around the world. I think that we've got one of the largest footprints of both local news and national news that's out there. And I think it's a wealth of amazing content here at Gannett, and I'm thrilled to be part of the team.
Awesome. Now let's talk about kind of that more like more advanced concepts, let's say, of a more maybe mature data organization of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data science as a whole. What are some of the most innovative and effective implementations of machine learning and data science that you've seen in your vertical? What are some like really cool instances where you've seen kind of the magic happen and it actually worked in a way that benefited the consumer, but also had a really impressive kind of effect on the organization as a whole?
Listen, this is the fun stuff, and I consider myself a data science practitioner. I've dabbled in some of these things. I went after I left HBO and rolled up my sleeves, started my own company for a bit, and went back, taught myself Python. I wanted to jump all the way into the trenches again, built a whole analytics platform around the advertising research industry, which was pretty wild. And I was using machine learning in that space to just analyze content, looking for, in that case, it was emotion fingerprints, psychographic fingerprints, and then drawing correlations between those and consumer consumption from the messaging. So you can apply this type of technology to creative that goes into marketing campaigns, and you can use that for ad placement and all that kind of fun stuff. But yeah, I mean, simply in the HBOs of the world, it was things like that. We were using it to analyze scripts, applying psychographic frameworks, understanding where there are certain aspects of emotion that can influence positive ratings versus negative ratings in television. At A&E Networks, we used it for things as basic as auto captioning. So having a video just like this and having it auto transcribe. And there's plenty of services out there now that can do that type of work for you. But you're also using it to find objects. I remember, Mike Gabriel had this vision at HBO of being able to understand what were the products that were being featured in Sex and the City, right? And so leveraging, artificial intelligence or classification algorithms trained against, the massive library that's out there can allow you just to go scene by scene and say, oh, there's whatever this type brand of car is, or here's whatever that brand of clothing is, and here's where you can go buy it. And it just opens up so many other possibilities. A really full scale CIA agency, if you will, that can really enable these things.
Yeah, that's so, I love the fact that you guys are using NFTs. I feel like we read about NFTs and they are kind of part of this like very special kind of section of people, but bringing it into everyday life and everyday kind of big media organizations that we're also familiar with and we consume every day. I love the idea of kind of normalize the NFT, make it part of our everyday life, make this metaverse real. It's really not that far away. It's not that far out of reach. Wow, really awesome conversation. I really appreciate it, Nate. We're coming up on time now. I feel like we could keep going for a while on some of these conversations, but thank you for walking us through all the thought processes that you have. Thank you for giving us all these like really awesome tips and tricks to kind of establishing a good, honest data organization or data oriented organization and talking about your journey. And then of course, thank you for sharing some of the, shared experiences you and I both have from our different verticals. I think it's awesome that we were able to meet in the middle and kind of share our experiences. I always love doing this, getting a view outside of my little box over here sometimes that I feel like I sit in. So yeah, I really appreciate it. And
Yeah,
thank you
Amina,
for your time.
yeah, Amina, thank you for your time. This was a lot of fun. I'll just leave on a parting note that is, remember, make us ever mindful of the needs of others. And I'm going to go eat a sandwich now.
Awesome.